welcome back to the Citizens Fancast. As always, I am your host, Evan, and today got an exciting episode talking about two matches. It's been a while since we've been able to do that. So, of course, we have the Burnley and Brentford matches. So, we'll talk about those and just a little bit of some transfer news with the window wrapping up and everything like that. And then we'll get into a preview of Everton, and that'll be it for this week. So, without further ado, I think I'll get right into the Burnley match. Burnley match, the lineup: Ederson, Ake, Stones, Guardiola, Rico Lewis, Rodri, Nunez, De Bruyne, Foden, Doku, and Alvarez. So, Kevin De Bruyne, his first start coming back from his injury. We figured it was going to happening against Vincent Kompany's Burnley. So, not going in, obviously we knew, they're not doing very well this season, kind of looking a little rough, looking like they're going to be on their way back down to the championship, but you never know. It's the Premier League. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So, not something to overlook. We'd already beat them this season, but, De Bruyne coming back, Doku coming back, it felt like we had it. So, 3-1 final score. Alvarez, the birthday boy, obviously that was a week ago, but it was his birthday on the day of the match. Got two goals in the 16th, an assist from Nunez, and then in the 22nd with an assist from De Bruyne, and then Rodri got our third with an assist from Foden. 75% possession, dominated the match, and just, De Bruyne coming back, it changes up the formation a little bit. So Foden at right wing, not through the center where we've seen him kind of since he's been really filling in with De Bruyne not there. Nunez and De Bruyne both a little bit more forward, and then Rico Lewis kind of inverted into the midfield role. And then obviously we also saw Haaland come back and make an appearance from the bench. Didn't do too much, actually had a very kind of a whiff of a shot in his first attempt back from injury, but a little rusty apparently, and it is kind of funny, a little bit amusing just to see him really just miss that badly. Considering the circumstances, it didn't really affect us that much. Would have been cool for him to score on his first shot back, but obviously that didn't happen. So first goal, an assist by Nunez, and I think the main thing I noticed from him, and I keep noticing more and more, is he's a very, very quick player. I didn't notice how much speed he had, and it impresses me every match, but really just an incredible individual effort on his part to get the first assist, try putting a ball in, it got blocked, and then ended up getting it across to Alvarez, who put us up. And then the second goal was what seemed to be a training ground move on a free kick. De Bruyne with a pass on the ground right through their defense into Alvarez, and moved him up to third all time on the Premier League assist list. So I would love for him to be able to move to the top of that before he's done with City. I think if it wasn't for injuries, he probably would be pretty close to it by about now. Obviously, there were some years with certain players who weren't the greatest at finishing that prevented him from getting quite a few as well. But, even if it just didn't have this year with the injury, and then I forget what year it was. I think 2016 he missed some time, and I think there was one other one I'm blanking in my head. Just the times that he's missed some time. So if he went to miss that time, I think he'd be a lot higher on the list. He's come back refreshed and a new player. He's getting an assist every single match, literally every single match since he's came back. So for me, I think there's a good chance that he'll get pretty close to it. He seems refreshed. If he plays another 2, 3, maybe even 4 seasons for us, there's really no reason why he can't get up there and become the all-time leader in assists in the Premier League. So I look forward to that, and I just I hope that he can continue on being the player that he is. So that being said, so that was our first two goals, and then just in the first half in general, I mean we were kind of dominant the entire match, but Nunez and Guardiol both great in the first half. De Bruyne was great as well. It's it's really showing that our signings are showing up and doing things faster than they normally do. So it's clicking faster. Obviously, Doku came in, made an impact right away with his assists, and just his speed, his quickness. His final ball needs a little bit of work. It truly does. I don't want to harp on it too much, but he's still young. He's still learning. The ball needs a little bit of work. He doesn't. He's good at getting himself in the right positions. He's good at creating space for himself, but I think he's almost. I feel like with how quick his feet are and how quick he's moving, his brain's almost moving too quick, and he kind of panics a little bit and doesn't always put in the best ball. But I think as time goes on, he'll clean that up a little bit. Continue training with our players, training with Pep, training more time around De Bruyne and whatnot. I think that final ball will improve. He'll become a more polished player, and I noticed it earlier in the season. He's got the talent there. The raw talent is there. It's just a few tweaks, and he'll be completely there. He's so close. It's gonna be scary once it all clicks, but I do think he's just a little bit away from quite getting there. So I would expect him to be able to get that to click. But beyond that, he's been great. Guardiola's been great out on the left. He's really been a center back the majority of the season. So for him to come in and be able to have that impact with us kind of playing out of position and just being so attacking and everything like that, he's been absolutely incredible. So both of those two great. Nunez is coming in to his own right as well. Just getting more time. It seems like I felt like the chemistry was off a little bit when he started with us. That it wasn't quite there. He needed a little bit of work on kind of just his communication with other players. Not necessarily the final ball like Doku, but kind of almost the pass before the final ball, if you will. That it seemed like he was a little off on that. He wasn't on the right page of the same players, or as the players he was trying to work with and on the field with. So it seems to be getting better from him. He can go out, put in minutes, contribute to the team. And then, honestly, one of my favorite signings, and it's going to go unshown and under the radar, Kovacic. He's really the perfect Gundogan replacement, and I think that's what we brought him in for him to be able to, on a consistent basis, put himself in the right position, be that link up between our defenders and our attackers or our attacking midfielders. By carrying the ball, making the passes, putting himself in the right position to be an outlet. It's very underrated, and I think he's someone who helps us kind of stabilize our midfield and just stabilize our team and keep the pressure down a little bit in a way. So all of them have been incredible. I love just seeing where they'll all go. Obviously, they're all young. Kovacic is a little up there in age a little bit more compared to the others, but all of them can put in plenty of time for us. So excited to see where that'll go. If it's clicking already for them, you don't know what the limit is. If it clicks early, the sky is the limit in my opinion. So I'd expect them to just continue to improve. And another thing with Doku was it felt like he wasn't the greatest defensively at times. A lot of times I feel like he wouldn't track back, or when he was tracking back, he wouldn't know what he was doing. It seems like Pep's already gotten to him with that. He's on him when he's not tracking back, and when he tracks back, he seems to be making a little more of an influence than he was before. So I'd expect that to again just continue to improve and increase as time goes on. One more thing I just kind of wanted to note. So Grealish came into the match, and as did Sergio Gomez. When Gomez came in, Grealish pushed central. So maybe that's an option we could see in the future. He didn't get a ton of minutes there centrally, but it's nice to see Grealish somewhere else besides just strictly on the left side of the field. But other than that, we didn't get a clean sheet. It sucks. We haven't gotten a clean sheet in a while. Didn't get one today against Brentford either, but it is what it is. You know, it's not the end of the world. You don't need clean sheets to win a title. They're nice, yes. They help for goal differential, yes. But most important thing at the end of the day is the 3 points, and that's what we got them. And I don't have a ton more on this match. We kind of just coasted through the second half. We were up big. We got our third goal less than a minute into the second half. So from there, we kind of just turned it off, coasted, and it was game over from there. And there's really not much they could do about it. So Alvarez was my man of the match, and it was a good win against the team that we should have beat, and we clearly did. Alrighty, let's get into the Brentford match. Obviously, that one was today. It's a little more fresh in my mind, so it's a little easier to recap and go over that one. But before I get into this one, I apologize if the sound doesn't completely line up from that Burnley one to the Brentford one here. My allergies were bothering me like crazy. I barely made it through that one, but I had to take a little bit of a break, but I'm good to go now. So if the audio in the video is a little bit off in between there, I apologize. But let's get into the Brentford match. So starting lineup was Ederson in goal, Walker, Diaz, Ake, Guardiola, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Alvarez, Foden, and Haaland. Very attacking lineup, and that's how we started out. We went through attacking, and it left us vulnerable on counters. In a way, it got us scored on, but I'll get into that a little bit more. So 3 goals, all by Foden, his second career hat trick. First one in the 48th minute unassisted. The second one in the 53rd minute with an assist from De Bruyne, and the third one in the 70th minute with an assist from Haaland. Apparently, also, rumors are with the starting lineup, Grealish was apparently unhappy that he didn't start and left training early because of it. From what I've seen, it's from reputable sources. So, believe me, don't believe me, regardless. If it happened, he's a professional. We're full of professionals. We don't need something like this in our season right now, right? But I think Grealish is a professional. I think it's more out of frustration. He wants to play. He wants to contribute. He was such a big part of our treble winning season last year. I think he just wants to be a huge part of it, and that's why. I think it's not something that's going to cause major issues. I think he just was frustrated in the moment that he didn't get to play. Wants to do that. Wants to be able to help out our squad. So I'm going to attribute it to that, and that's what I'm sticking to with it. So he didn't get on the pitch. I would assume that's probably due to the fact of that maybe Pep just kind of a little bit of showing him a lesson in a way. So, but we dominated the match. 72% possession. Lineup was a little bit interesting. I mentioned a couple episodes ago how it felt like Pep kind of changed how he was doing, where one more player in the midfield, kind of one less player on one of our wings, and we didn't really have a right wing. Well, this match, it seemed like all of our attacks really came down from the right side instead of coming down the left like they have in the past, and Bernardo was kind of out wide, Foden, De Bruyne, Alvarez all central, and then Guardiola played a lot higher on the left side. It worked well. Guardiola did great over there, overloading the one side, putting balls in. We had a ton of shots. It took a while to get there, but we won. With them sitting so many bodies back behind the ball, it makes it very, very difficult to get chances off, get shots off, and be able to put the ball in the net. It feels like sometimes we almost try to pass the ball into the net. We're working it so much. We weren't doing that today. We were shooting early. We were taking shots outside the 18. We were getting corners from it, getting balls in, and it felt like our time was coming. It was going to come. Got one right before halftime. Take that momentum into the second half, and we obviously ended up winning the match. But I do have a little bit of a complaint, just really with our defense on the goal. I mean, It's it was off a goal kick. Uh, Ake got blocked off. I don't think it was illegal. I think it was fairly done. I I don't think you can concede off a goal kick. You can't let a keeper get an assist off a goal kick. We're better than that. We got to attack that ball in the air. We got to be able to stop it, slow it down at least before it goes on through. But it worked out in the end. Something to just, it's just a note. It's not something that really is going to affect us that much. But at the end of the day, it really isn't something that we should have allowed. And I think it really just comes down to, I don't know if it's lack of awareness or lack of just attacking the ball, but it felt like something that we should have shut down and been able to stop prior to it happening. So I would think Pep's not going to be happy about that. Our defense played well beyond that. Everyone played really well, but kind of just a little bit annoying when you dominate the match that much and they get kind of a cheap goal like that in a way. I mean, they fully deserved it. They took their one chance that they had, but it's just a little bit annoying. But our defenders were good at that, blocking shots. Diaz was incredible blocking shots. Guardiola blocking shots. I think we have some of the best shot blocking defenders in all the world, in all honesty. The ability to put their body in the right position in most instances and be able to put themselves, their bodies on the line to be able to, you know, finish off or to block their other team's chances. So I think you saw a lot earlier Diaz getting complaints of, why is he always on the ground? Well, it's to block those shots. If he doesn't attempt to do that, it gets to Ederson. It didn't work out sometimes earlier in the year. Other teams were scoring on deflections, but when it works the way it's intended to, and he gets his body in front of that, it feels like it's really just that's who he is. That's who Diaz is. That's who Ake is, and that's who Guardiola is in all honesty too, and that's why we brought him in. He's an excellent defender and he's willing to put his body on the line to help our team from conceding. But that's not who I entirely want to talk about today. Foden was incredible. He found the space. He moved himself, put himself in the right position. 2 goals in the match. But what else can I say? I mean, he's been incredible. I mean, what Phil Foden is doing for us is absolutely insane. He's not in the conversation right now from everything I've seen to be in Player of the Year in the Premier League, and he 100% should be. He's been our best player. He's been the best player in the league. It's hands down. You can't argue it. I don't care. You just can't argue it. De Bruyne was out. He stepped up. He took over that role. We were winning matches. We put ourselves in a title fight, and that's majorly because of him. He kept us afloat with De Bruyne gone. De Bruyne is back, and he's just hitting another level. We have another playmaker, so he doesn't have to do as much on his own. He went out today and basically, in a way, single-handedly won us that match, and that's what you need. And it's not just scoring goals or getting assists. He was all over the field. He was tracking back, stopping Brentford defensively. It's just his ability to know where to be, put himself in the right situation, know what his team needs, and be able to go out and do it. That's what we need. And for him to know how to do that at just 23 years old is incredible. He should win Player of the Year, in my opinion. And whether he does or not is not up to me, but he's got my vote. So I would say that, it's incredible that he's not in those discussions, but I think after today you're going to see it a lot more of him being in that discussion, and just he's incredible. What else can you say? He's one of my all-time favorite players. I got his jersey autographed up there. I've got so many jerseys in my closet over here too of his, just because I love watching him so much. He's an incredible player. I'm so happy that he's a City player. I was thinking about that today, that like how lucky are we to have him in our club, for him to have grown up and come up and just want to be City. He's City through and through, and it's incredible. We're such a lucky, we're just a lucky fan base to be able to have him, and he's generational. His talent is unmatched. I think he's going to be a player to come for us and for England for years to come. He's just got to be utilized the right way, and he can play so many different positions. So hopefully in the Euros he gets some time because he's England's best player, and I don't want to hear anything about Jude Bellingham because Phil Foden is England's best player, hands down. I It might be controversial, but I've seen them both play, and I think Foden's better. So it's it's a lucky situation for England to have both of them. But if it comes down to a head-to-head conversation, Foden's got my vote in my mind. So obviously Foden's my man of the match, and it's that's it. We dominated the match. Foden was the best player for us. That's all I got for the match. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words here. That's my match analysis. So moving on from that, I apologize. I'm having a rough time over here. Um, anyway, moving on into our injury report. Everyone is back, fully fit. Uh, Holland's back, obviously. He played the majority of the match. Akanji is back in training. Didn't get any time yet, but everyone's healthy. Stones is back and healthy. Obviously, he played. We had the injury concern with Ederson. Obviously, he's been good as well. So my injury report is done. I don't have any names on it. For the first time since the season started, my injury report is blank, and I could not be happier about that. So just a couple things on the transfer and rumor side. Josh Wilson Esbrand went on loan out to Cardiff for the rest of the season. That's good. He's not really getting. He hasn't gotten minutes with us, so for a while, I don't think he's gotten any minutes this year. I think he got some time last year in some cup matches. I didn't really fact check that before, so don't trust me on that. But I think he did. Regardless, he did get some time in the preseason. I know because I was at the matches, one of the matches that he was in a couple seasons ago. So, or at the beginning of last season, summer of 2022. But good for him to get some first team minutes and be able to just get some more time. I think anytime a young player can get first team minutes, it helps them. They come back to us stronger. So I think that he's got a role in our squad in the future. It's just a matter of there's not really minutes for him right now. So let's get him minutes somewhere else, bring him back. Let's get a more polished up player, a player who's, stronger and been able to get those first time minutes. Then we also have a signing of a new player, or not a signing, but a player that will be coming in for City. Savio, I believe, is his name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Plays for Girona right now, and apparently he's coming to City this year. So obviously in the City football group already. 25 appearances this year, 7 goals. He's a winger, Brazilian, 19 years old. Everything I've seen and watched of him, he's a great player. So another young player coming into City, a winger. It sounds like a good move for me. So Girona's been incredible this year. I think that might not be the last player we see coming in from them. So it's if the City football group, if their goal is to take these clubs from all over the world and be able to kind of make them feeder clubs to us, City being the main club, then mission accomplished. It's working. We're building these clubs up. They're getting results. They're getting good players. We're building up young players. They're coming back to us, or they're able to then come to us and then hopefully contribute. So if that's the overall overlooming goal of the City football group, I think it's working. Mission accomplished. We're doing exactly what we need to do there. So that's all I have on the contracts and rumors. Moving into how we're looking for the year. So obviously 6 points in the past week. We have Everton coming up, but Liverpool lost to Arsenal 3-1. Arsenal just looked better. Neither of these teams scare me that much, in all honesty. I've kind of said it all year. Our biggest opponent is ourselves. We're better than everybody else. We look determined. We look ready to go. I said it a couple weeks ago with Klopp leaving. I think it fully motivates us more than it motivates anybody else. We don't want him to be sent out on a high note, on a note where, he can win all these trophies. I think we're motivated. I think we want to win. I think we want that back-to-back treble. We want those four top uh, top division titles. Never in English football in the top division has a team won four titles in a row. Forget the Premier League, top division in general. It's never been done. And we want that. Pep wants it. The players want it. We're hungry. We're here. We want back-to-back trebles. Everybody wants that. We brought in these younger players. We brought in these good players, these world-class players, or players that will be world-class, so we could go out and do this. I think we're hungrier than ever. That Liverpool loss put it 100% in our hands. Now, am I saying for the end till the end of the year will we win every single match? I don't know. Is it likely? Probably not. Is it possible to win the league without winning every single match? Most definitely. So it's a matter of now, though, it's back in our hands, right? We got a game in hand. We're 2 points back on Liverpool. We're currently tied with Arsenal, but like I said, we have that game in hand on them as well. So in a world where we go out and win the rest of our matches, we win the title because we beat Liverpool, we beat Arsenal, and if we win the rest of our matches. So I'm confident that we can do it. I think our players are hungry, they're motivated. We came back from injury. We got kind of rested up here in these last couple weeks at the absolute perfect time. I think, not playing as much was kind of perfect. Kind of really nice that we weren't in the Carabao Cup, in all honesty, because it was cool while we're winning it, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you're not winning it, who cares, right? Cool to win another trophy. Who cares if you're not winning the trophy? That's kind of how I feel about it. So everyone else's opinions might not be the same as mine, but that's kind of how I see it. We obviously know the big ones. We got Champions League, which that's going to be coming up again soon. We have the FA Cup, and we have the Premier League. So we're in it for the long haul. We got a chance at a back-to-back treble, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up until it's not possible anymore. But it got a hell of a lot easier this week. Liverpool midweek, they got a lot of calls against Chelsea. In all honesty, I watched the match at halftime of our match because the times didn't overlap. Then I watched the end of it. They're getting a lot of calls. They're gonna get a lot of calls. They got that one earlier against us where we should have beat them. In all honesty, we should be leading the league right now because of that. But you can't dwell on the past. All we can do is take on what's in front of us. So we do have to go to Anfield yet. And if there was ever a time to beat them, I think this is the year. This is the time to do it. So 2 points off Liverpool, tied with Arsenal, 3 up on Villa. But we got the game in hand on all of them. So it's our destiny's in our own hands. We have the ability to go out and just win the rest of these matches and win the league and do the same thing in the cup matches left. So fully confident that we can get 4 in a row. Fully confident that we can go back to back in the Champions League. And I mean, we're our biggest opponent. I've said it a couple of times now. I think we're the best team in the world. We showed that last year. We won all those trophies. So let's go out and do it again. And I'm excited to continue to watch the rest of the season. The Foden hat trick today got me so excited. Nothing excites me more than seeing Foden get goals, and I don't know why that is. He's obviously one of my favorite players, but it just nothing excites me like seeing a Foden goal. It's kind of like to me it feels like it. I feel so much more pride when he scores. Like, he's homegrown. He is City. He's City through and through. He's a City fan. It just makes me happy seeing him be successful. So I hope he continues his form, and I think he will. I was thinking the entire year this was going to be a breakout year. I don't know if I said it earlier in the year on here, but it really does seem like his breakout year, as if he needed a breakout year given everything he's accomplished already. I mean, I think he's got 71 goals, something like that for City in his career already, and he's only 21 years old, or 23 years old. I apologize. But it's just it's exciting to see him succeeding and to see these young players succeeding for us and just the talent we have moving forward. So I think the rest of the league's in trouble for a while, and I think that's why they're trying to consistently bring up the 115 charges and get us sent down to the second or third division. And obviously, as you can tell, I'm not even bothered by it. I don't know if I've even brought up the 115 charges on here since last year, since we were charged with it, and there's a reason for that because I just don't care. At the end of the day, we're City fans. I'm not. It's not going to change. I'm a City fan through and through. My biggest thing is, being here in the U.S. Sometimes it could be difficult to watch teams from other divisions. So if as long as I can watch City play, I don't care what division they're in. I've seen them accomplish everything. I've seen them, you know, make it to the top, and that's in. I obviously want to see them continue to do it again and again and again, but at the end of the day, I don't think even sending them down divisions will stop them. I think they'll be back, and uh, I don't think we're guilty anyway. So I'm not too concerned. That's why I don't talk about it. If anyone was ever curious as to why I don't really mention it, it's because I'm not concerned. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really change anything about me. It just changes. It changes what division I'd be watching if we get sent down. So that's about it. We're such a big fan base and everything like that. I don't see how they couldn't be showing our matches here in the U.S. if we do end up getting sent down. So uh, I'm here regardless. Like I said, as long as I can watch the matches, I'll be here for you guys talking about City, um, and that's plain and simple. So enough about me. Enough about my little monologue there. Into the match preview for next week. Obviously, like I said, we have Everton at home Saturday, February 10th, 6:30 a.m. Central Time, U.S. Standard Central Time, whatever it's called. If you're in the Central Time Zone in the U.S., it's 6:30 in the morning. It is a noon, 12:30 kickoff local time. I believe it's 12:30. I think it's 12:30 and 6:30. I could be wrong. It may be 6 o'clock. Double check that. Don't take my word for it and potentially miss half of the first half. So it's somewhere in that time range. But Everton. So we didn't play them that long ago. We beat them 3-1. At the end of the day, I dislike Everton as much as I dislike, not quite up there with United and Liverpool, but they're pretty damn close. At the end of the day, Everton's still a club from Liverpool, and I can't get over that, and I can't get over their fans. So they're 18th in the league. We should beat them. Current form, they drew Spurs 2-2. They drew Fulham and Villa 0-0, both of those matches. So they can keep up with some teams that are towards the top, but they also lost 3-0 to Wolves, and they lost 3-1 to us. Having them at home, I'd suspect that we can beat them. I'd expect for us to be able to at least put another 3 goals past them. I don't think very highly of Jordan Pickford, so I'd expect us to be able to score goals. Haaland's hungry. He's hungry for goals. Foden's coming off a man of the match performance. De Bruyne is De Bruyne. We got Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, everybody. I could go down the entire lineup and say all these good things about our players. It's what we have as players, or what we have as fans to look forward to. We have the best players in the world. So we're a better team. I'd expect us to win, and I'd expect us to keep that pressure on Liverpool. As we keep that pressure up on them and on Arsenal, and we get these matches, and if we can beat them, that's going to just turn up the pressure on them a little bit more each and every time. So we need to keep the pressure up on them so they can feel it and they can continue to drop points. But Everton at the end of the week here, this weekend, I'd expect a win and 3 more points and us to be still in second place or potentially in the lead. So that's what I expect from us. I don't have anything else for you guys beyond that. A little bit longer of an episode. Again, I apologize before. I feel like I've been stumbling through my words a little bit here. I don't know what's up with my allergies. I've been fine all day, and then I closed the door here, and for some reason I don't know. I must have threw some dust in the air. But again, you guys don't care. So moving on. Thank you guys for listening. As always, I appreciate you. Share this with whoever. Listens going up every single week still. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish I knew you all by name. If I did, I would thank you. But I don't. So I appreciate you all. Right now, I did hit 500 followers on Twitter. So for anybody who doesn't follow me, go follow me there. And I'm giving away a Holland jersey on Twitter. All you have to do is follow me and retweet. And I plan to give that away after the Everton match on Twitter. So go follow me there. Go retweet that. Looking for the podcast. It's on Spotify, uh, Amazon, Apple, Google. I think that's all of them. I always feel like I forget one. I say that every week. I don't know if I'm forgetting one. Google Citizens Fancast. We're all over. Citizens Fancast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can subscribe on YouTube as well and watch these videos. Eventually, I'll have more content other than just these videos. A lot going on in my life right now. Once I get past that, there'll be a little bit more. But feel like I'm keeping everyone on the edge of their seat. If you're an avid listener and of there's more to come, but I promise you eventually there is more to come. So thank you for bearing with me. Eventually that stuff will come. And enjoy the rest of your week. Let's go get the 3 points at Everton. And that's all. Go City.